Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Playing on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Playing on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
S-I-C-K.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. With Tony Marinaro.
55 seconds left in the penalty, a minute and 27 seconds left in regulation time. Boston 4, Montreal 3. Lafleur coming out rather gingerly on the right side. He gives it into Lemaire, back to Lafleur. Oh!
The sickest Montreal Canadiens podcast.
You're in the ball!
Sports entertainment like no other.
Rejoint, on lui fait perdre la rondelle, une passe devant. Et c'est le dégagement et ce sera la victoire des Canadiens. Stanley pour les Canadiens, le 23e de l'histoire.
You found the dogs! John, you found the dogs! He found the dogs! And all together, they worked a young team to the top. And now, a 24th Stanley Cup banner will hang from the rafters of the famous Forum in Montreal. The Canadiens win the Stanley Cup!
Brought to you by Energy Transportation Group. Driven to be different. La Vida Tibi. Embrace your true nature. And Playground, your premier gaming destination. It's gonna be sick.
Marinaro, the Sick Podcast. Thank you for watching YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. In all transparency, the podcast tonight actually recorded prior to the hockey games. So there you have it. Just wanted to let you know that. The Sick Podcast is brought to you in part by Betway. Go all the way with Betway. Get a free bet up to $200 if your first bet loses. Scan the QR code on the screen or click on the link in the details section to create an account. Redeem your welcome offer. Offer is only available for new customers. Terms and conditions apply. Offer is not available in Ontario. Must be 18 years of age and older. And please play responsibly. Also brought to you in part by my man Tasso and the great staff over at Fruiterie de Lard, a family-run business, a mainstay in the LaSalle community since 1995. Proud to continue offering the same fresh foods and flavors that they have for the past 30 years, from fresh fruits and produce delivered daily to an ever-expanding assortment of deli meats, cheeses, and sandwiches. You'll find personalized service, and friendly faces that make you feel like family when you go to Fruiterie de Lard. Tell me about it. I've been going there since 1995, as a matter of fact. When they opened is when I started going there. Without further ado, let's bring in today's guest, Pierre McGuire. How are you?
I'm excellent, Tony. How you doing?
Extremely well. Thank you very much, Pierre. First game in Rochester of the second round for the Laval Rocket last night, which resulted in a 5-4 win. Twice they came from behind. Pierre showed some character in that win. And guess what? It's two defensemen that put the Laval Rocket up on the board to start the game. It was actually the Rochester Americans that opened the scoring. They go up by a score of 1-0. And Pierre, Logan Mailloux ties it at 1 on an absolute rocket. Now, if there's one thing that's missing on the Canadiens' blue line, it's probably a big slap shot. Others will say that Arbor Jackeye has it, but I'll add to that and say a big slap shot from the blue line on the point on the power play. And Jackeye doesn't see a lot of power play action. We know that. He doesn't see any at all, as a matter of fact. Pierre, one of the things we've been talking about is how to make the power play better. And they have some interesting personnel, the Canadiens do, on the power play, with Nick Suzuki, Cole Caulfield, Juraj Slafkovsky, Lane Hudson, Ivan Demidov. List goes on and on. My question to you is, if the Canadiens can add a defenseman with a rocket of a shot at the point on that power play, does he crack the first wave of the power play? And if so, how does the power play change?
Well, I don't know if he cracks the first wave. It's a great question and nice to visit with you, Tony. I don't know if he cracks the first wave or not, because I don't think Nick Suzuki's coming off that power play, and I don't think Cole Caulfield's coming off that power play, and I'm not sure Demidov will come off the first power play. So what are you going to do with Lane Hudson? Take him off? I don't think so. What are you going to do with Slafkovsky? Take him off? I don't think so. So we'll see. Look, and I've been fortunate, especially early in my coaching career, to have, enough players where we could have two really diverse and different power plays, and it created mayhem for the opposition when it came for them to try to game plan against our two different power plays. I could envision a process for the Canadiens where maybe that happens to start the year, two completely different looks. I haven't even mentioned Patrick Laine's name. So I don't know if he cracks the first power play or not, but let's just use our hypothesis. And let's say he does crack the first power play. Let's just say he does. I think it becomes a very unique power play. I could see him playing on the left side. I could see Lane Hudson playing on the right side. That would be inverted sticks up high, a one-timer on the right, a one-timer on the left. And then it's clear passing, back seam lanes on the forehand. Mailloux can go over to Suzuki, who's on his strong side. They can go over to Hudson. or sorry, not Hudson, Caulfield on the other side. So there's a lot of different things that they could do. There are a lot of different things they could do.
For those who are watching and or listening right now and saying, yeah, you know what, Juraj Slafkovsky probably has less hands or less vision or is less comfortable than the other players on the power play. He could be the guy that comes off the power play. Talk about the importance of a big body like a Slafkovsky on the power play and the different ways the Canadiens can use him on the power play, Pierre.
Oh, it matters a lot. It matters screening. It matters on puck retrievals. It matters on overpowering people in face-off situations to win the initial draw, especially if it's scrambled. Bigger people, stronger people, especially when you're a bit of a smaller team like Montreal is. That matters a lot, Tony. The other part is you can run some schemes down low. Watch the Florida Panthers and their power play. Watch some of the schemes they run down low. A lot of it's based on Matthew Tkachuk. Some of it's based on Sam Bennett. And they're both bigger guys that know how to jostle for position and get puck retrievals. So there's a lot of different ways you could do it. I don't know why you want to rush Logan into that, but I can tell you one thing. That goal that you alluded to in Rochester that was scored in game 1 of that series, that is an NHL, big-time NHL shot. Big-time NHL shot.
You're right about that, Pierre. I think he would, along with Arbor Jack, I think he would end up becoming the best slap shot on the Montreal Canadiens. He has a rocket of a shot. The Sick Podcast brought to you in part by Energy Transportation Group, a leading full-service logistics provider serving all of North America. Driven to be different. They're a top fleet employer in Canada. Also brought to you in part by Playground. 3 tasty reasons to visit the Rail. Monday as of 4 p.m., dive into 2 lobster tails for just $22. Served with rice, veggies, garlic butter, and a warm biscuit. Thursdays from 4 p.m., sink your teeth into their surf and turf special, an 8-ounce New York strip with shrimp, fries, and pepper sauce for only $19. Fridays from 11:30 to 4 p.m., enjoy any burger, sandwich, pizza, or main for just $7. Certain conditions apply. All you need is a valid Playground players card, and it's free. Deals this good are worth the trip only at the Rail inside the Playground complex. Visit playground.ca for details. Another guy who got on the board, who ended up giving the Laval Rocket a 2-1 lead yesterday, was defenseman David Reinbacher. He, too, has a rocket of a shot, Pierre, but this one here didn't come off a rocket of a shot. It came off of offensive instincts, vision, recognizing the moment and saying, this is a good time to pinch. I'm going. He goes. He pounces on a loose puck, and he snaps one home to give the Laval Rocket a 2-1 lead. Talk to me about Reinbacher and everything you've seen so far.
He's not the loudest offensive player. He's never shown that. If you watched him play in Cloton, if you watched him play for Austria internationally, if you watch him play in the American Hockey League, his numbers aren't going to dictate huge offensive numbers in terms of goals. They're going to show a little bit more on the offensive side. To your point, hockey sense plays, peripheral vision plays, puck possession plays, keeping plays alive. Does not have an overpowering shot, but he's a guy that knows how to stop people. He's a guy that makes really good passes coming out of his own zone. He's a guy that makes the right reads at the offensive blue line. So I see a day where he's going to be a very large part of the Montreal Canadiens, just like I think Logan Mailloux is going to be a very large part of the Montreal Canadiens.
Let's take a look at the lineup last night for the Laval Rocket, if we can bring it up. All right, Dauphin with Barré Boulet on his right and Farrell on his left. Kapanen, who ended up scoring, by the way, Oliver Kapanen, the game-winning goal last night. That line with him, Joshua Roy, and Brandon Gignac was really going in period number 3 especially. And by the way, for all your Laval Rocket news, once again, of course, the Sick Podcast, the Rocket Report with Shane Gaumont and Anthony Marcotte, who is the play-by-play voice of the Laval Rocket on BPM Sports. And we want to welcome Anthony to the Sick Media family. It's a tremendous addition. Condotta with Simoneau on his right, who, by the way, got injured in the game last night. And Raphael Harvey Pinard, who got the game puck from his teammates. They really loved his effort. Florian Jacki centered the 4th line with Beck and Davidson. And on defense, Engstrom, Reinbacher, Trudeau, Mailloux, Witherspoon, Lindstrom. And Caden Primo got the start and goal with Jacob Fowler backing him up. I want to keep this up here for a second, if I can. Pierre, when you take a look at the defense pairings, Engstrom, Reinbacher, Trudeau, Mailloux, are there any messages to be had over there, like for you? The fact that I mean, does it say that if they put Reinbacher on your first pairing of defensemen that they believe he's closer to the National Hockey League? The fact that they paired him with Engstrom, or the fact that they paired Engstrom with Reinbacher, do you read anything into this?
Yeah, one guy's a real good puck mover, Reinbacher. The other guy's got a lot of skill, Engstrom. One guy's a better stopper, Reinbacher. The other guy's probably a little bit more of a risk, defensive risk, but he's still a very good player. Trudeau's a really good defensive player. That's probably why he's with Logan, stabilizing the game. So it's just partnerships. It's one strength with another strength. I wouldn't play Mailloux and Reinbacher together because I wouldn't want to put a right-hand shot on the left-hand side of the ice. But I'd be comfortable if you moved Engstrom down and moved Trudeau up. But then if you did that, you're getting more of a shutdown tandem with Reinbacher and Trudeau rather than just having good offense and defense put together. And that's why I think those top two tandems are like that. You've got puck movement and you got real good, solid defensive awareness.
I'm going to bring up David Reinbacher's Hockey DB, brought to you by Bittt Tibi. They launched their new Ultra Lager, refreshing, thirst-quenching beer. Perfect for summer with only 90 calories, 2 grams of carbs, 4% ABV per can. Available in a pack of 6 and 12 in grocery stores all around the province of Quebec. Ultra light, ultra refreshing. Let's bring up Reinbacher's Hockey DB. Okay, here you have it. Pierre talked about the 3 years with Cloten, where his first year he played 27 games. Second year he played 46. Third year he played 35. His most productive year was the 22 points in the 46 games, which came in year number 2. With the Laval Rocket last year, 11 games, 5 points. And with the Laval Rocket this year, 10 games, 5 points. Of course, we all recall that Reinbacher was hurt in preseason action in the game versus the Toronto Maple Leafs and came back with about a month left in the regular season, and he went straight to the Laval Rocket, where thus far in the playoffs, he's played in 5 games, and he scored that goal last night to give the Laval Rocket a 2-1 lead. Pierre, I look at this. He's 20 years old. He'll be 21 on October 25th. That means when the NHL season starts next season, he'll turn 20 a couple of weeks after the season starts. I take a look at the amount of games that he's played, and I say, okay, the Swiss League is a good league, but he played about 108 games over 3 seasons. Add to that, playoffs, played about 125 games in all, and comes over, and at the American Hockey League level, he's played 21 plus playoffs. When all is said and done, hopefully he plays about 35. I look at that and I say, this guy's going to have to be really good to make the team right away, in their opinion, or they have to be willing to maybe take a step back due to a lack of experience, because more games at the American Hockey League level and maybe one more year could serve David Reinbacher well. True or false?
True. 100% true. Overripe rather than underdeveloped. So you saw they have his weight probably at 207, 208 right now, just guessing from having watched. I'm going to say right now, he's probably not weighing that much. He's probably weighing around 200. He's got to get to about 210, 212. He's got some work to do this summer to add some mass. And I don't mean, fat mass. I mean strong mass, which he can do. But if they're going to play him in the role that I think they're going to play him in, he's going to have to get that. It takes time for that. It's not easy to do that when you're grinding. Ask somebody, Tony, like Max Lapierre would be a good guy to ask. What's it like your first or couple years when you're playing against really big, strong guys? They're men. They have mortgages, car payments, and they got kids at home they have to feed. It's a way different experience than playing against junior kids. It's a way different experience than playing against college kids. It's just people don't realize until they're in the avenue or in the venue how strong these guys are. And that's why he's going to need some time to bulk up. But his hockey sense is exquisite. He's going to be a very good player, Tony.
I think the hockey sense or the reads are probably one notch below for Logan Mailloux, but I would think that his body, being more of an NHL body, is probably more ready. Let's bring up his Hockey DB if we can. There you have it. Mailloux, who played with the London Knights 4 games, and then with the London Nationals 48 games, back to London Knights, of course, of the OHL for 12, then 59. But he played 72 games in the American Hockey League last year, where he had 14 goals and 47 assists. Those are good numbers. played a game with the Canadiens last year, 7 games this past season, where he had 2 goals, 2 assists, 4 points, but was -5. This year with the Laval Rocket, he's played 63 games. Pierre, he's got a drop off in points, 33 points in 63 games. Without knowing him all that well or having talked to him, from the outside, I wouldn't be surprised if that drop off in production was because someone told him, you know what? Show us that you can play better hockey in your end and don't worry about the points. You drop off in points, it's okay. We're not worried about the points right now. We're worried into making you, we're more concerned about having you become an all-round defenseman. Your thoughts on the point production and the drop in point production?
We're going to agree on that as well. So if you look at his first year in Laval, he's -8. If you look at his this year in Laval, he's +5. Now the team's a little bit better this year, and it's different coach, obviously, and you had some pretty elite goaltending there this year. So the +5 is better than -8 for sure. But I would say what your premise is totally spot on. I'm going to say organizationally, we know what you can do offensively. You got to learn to shut it down defensively. I used to, Tony, I'm really comfortable telling you this because it celebrates a former Montreal Canadien they had the opportunity to work with in 2 different cities, in Pittsburgh and in Hartford, Zarley Zalapski. Zarley passed away. Zarley was all-world offensively. He was all-world. And he should have been all-world defensively. He just was too focused on trying to be that guy offensively. And we used to tell him all the time, we know what you can do offensively. Let's try to get you to a point where you can shut it down defensively. And it's why he kept moving around a lot. He was never in one place for a very long time because he just couldn't stabilize a game defensively the way a lot of coaches thought he could. I think Logan took that to heart. I really do.
Some of the best hockey Zarley Zalapski played, I think, was in the 1996 playoffs. Was it under Alain Vigneault and Dave King? Was it 96 versus the Pittsburgh Penguins in round 1?
Yep.
Dave King wanted to, implement a left-wing lock system with the Montreal Canadiens, or depending on if you want to call it, 3 up, 2 back, or whatever it was. and Zarley Zalapski, correct me if I'm wrong, Pierre, because this is going way back now. Yeah. But Dave King, who was a defensive tactician on that staff and had a lot more experience than head coach Alain Vigneault, took Zarley Zalapski, who was a defenseman, and said, you're going to play left wing, but you're actually going to play like a third defenseman. We'll spot you at left wing, but you're going to play like a third, and it's actually be more of a 2-front, 3-back system. Explain it, Pierre, if you can, and what they tried to do back then.
Well, first of all, Dave King had really good familiarity with Zarley because he had him with the Canadian Olympic team. When Dave was running the Olympic team, it's before Dave went to Calgary and took over in Calgary. But they were trying to stifle the better offensive team in Pittsburgh, and it was great. I mean, it worked. They beat them. Kevin Constantine was coaching Pittsburgh then. Vigneault and Dave King and Clément Jodoin were the coaches.
Jodoin, correct, yeah.
They were the coaches for Montreal. That's a long way back. That's almost 30 years ago. But no, it worked, and they got Zarley to buy into what a lot of coaches had tried to get him to buy in. And I think the buy-in factor was because it was late in his career. And he didn't want to become a suitcase moving from town to town to town. And so he bought in and he trusted Dave King. He trusted Dave King a lot.
May you rest in peace. Gone too soon, unfortunately, Zarley Zalapski. All right, okay. Pierre, one of the things that Kent Hughes and Jeff Gordon talked about at the year-end presser was they recognized the importance of having veterans to be there for young players. But at the same time, they don't want veterans to get in the way of young players and create that obstacle so that the young player ends up spending too much time on the farm and ends up hitting a roadblock. With that said, and what we just talked about, are you willing to say that maybe Mailloux is closer to the National Hockey League than Reinbacher?
Yes. I felt that from the start of this year going forward. I did. And part of it is Logan. So this is no knock on Swiss hockey, and this is no knock on David Reinbacher. But Logan Mailloux played for the Hunter brothers in London, the Ontario Hockey League, and you play there, that's an advanced degree in learning how to play hockey. They are hard. They run it like a pro camp, and they make sure that you pay attention to detail. So I think that's different than the experience that Reinbacher had over in Switzerland. Doesn't mean that it's a bad experience, because it's not. It's good, but it's just different. It's just totally – so one's way better suited at this point for pro hockey in North America than the other one, which takes time and development. So Logan, I think, was better suited coming out of junior than Reinbacher is coming out of Cloten. That being said, I also think the need, and you brought it up correctly at the start, the need for the big shot is very apparent for Montreal's power play. And I think that gives him an advantage over David Reinbacher right now.
And many say, Pierre, that, you need to dominate at your level before getting promoted. And Logan Mailloux was dominant early on this year in the AHL season. Yeah. Then he took a step back, but now it's the playoffs. It's crunch time. It's where you separate the men from the boys. He's a dominant player again.
I have to tell you, Tony, I used to talk to my partner at TSN, Gordon Miller, all the time about this. If you could dominate a World Junior, there's really no learning curve. You can go right in the National Hockey League and dominate and be a star player. There are a lot of guys that can play in the World Junior but can't dominate it, and those are the guys that need a little extra time on the farm that you're alluding to. A player like Mailloux, now he's got almost 2 years of farm time. That's significant extra training. It used to be in New Jersey Devils, when they were really on top of it, everybody went to a place called Lou Lamoriello University. That was the American Hockey League. Even Marty Brodeur went there. The only guys that didn't go, as far as I know, were Scott Gomez and Scott Niedermayer. I don't know of any other players that were drafted by the Devils that played when they were really good that didn't go there. And that is one of the reasons why I think Reinbacher could use just a little bit more time, and why I think they were really smart to leave Logan, give him a little taste, but leave him down here and now have this expanded playoff opportunity that they have in Laval.
Yeah. Now, you were talking about playing in the American Hockey League for Albany at the time?
Utica and Albany. They actually Lowell, Utica, Albany. So they were all over the place.
I just looked up the name Patrick Elias. I don't know why. It's one of the first names that came, and he spent significant time, as a matter of fact. He actually spent about 2 full seasons over 3 years, where he played 74, then 57, and then 3 games. And
go look at Brian Giunta.
Yeah.
Like, I can give you all of them that were there. Brodeur was there. The only ones that I know weren't there were Gomez and Niedermayer.
They used to have that in Detroit, by the way, with the Red Wings too. Once upon a time, where you used
go ahead.
Adirondack / Grand Rapids, or was Adirondack?
It was Adirondack first, and they were a legendary program. The late Bill Dineen was the coach there, and then Barry Melrose was the coach there. They had a lot of success, and then they moved to Grand Rapids, and they had tremendous success there.
They used to have a rule of thumb that unless you were a phenom, it was 3 years in the American Hockey League and or 250 games before getting.
You are spot on.
Before getting the promotion. Okay, so Pierre, in ending, let's just say the Canadiens wanted to promote 2 young defensemen at the same time and say, you know what? Let's bring them to the show. You promote 2 of those players at the same time. Is it safe to say that going to be really hard not to take a step back in the standings?
It depends what they do with the second center. I'm telling you, I know you're talking about the defense. I'm telling you right now, if they can get an elite second center, I'm not sure they're taking a step back, even though they're adding those 2 young guys in the back end. If your theory holds true, the second center is way more of a priority than depth defenseman, because they got enough defense. They need to get an elite second center. And I believe if they do that, they're not taking any step back. They're taking another step forward.
The Sick Podcast will be on hand at the Sports Celebrity Evening, honoring Carey Price on Sunday, May 25th, 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. VIP cocktail, a meet and greet, a fireside chat with Carey and other Montreal Canadiens players to be determined at the Gelber Conference Center. Tickets are on sale now. It's an exclusive event for $360. For more information on tickets and to get your tickets, cjcsfoundation.crowdchange.ca. will be there. And this event, which has been going on over 20 years, used to be a sports celebrity breakfast. This year, for the very first time, a sports celebrity evening honoring Carey Price, is in support of seniors' mental health and well-being at the Cummings Center. Let's just bring up the Laval Rocket lineup last night one more time. All right, Pierre. I know we haven't talked about Engstrom yet, but what would his career look like for you?
He's a solid 5, 6, 7 guy for an NHL team. If he was on a team with weaker defense, he'd probably be in the 4 or 5 hole. He's good. He's a talented kid. He's a very talented kid. Same with Lindstrom, by the way. And Trudeau is just a stopper. He's a smart, stopping type of a defensive defenseman. He's a good player.
All right. Interesting that Pascal Vincent said that both goalies would see action in the playoffs, even though the games are spread apart. Pierre, a Pascal Vincent decision or an organizational decision?
Pascal Vincent, they trust him with their team. I'm looking at what they've done with their lines that you had up there, and I'm looking at what they've done with their defense pairings. That's not management telling them to do that. That's a coaching staff decision. Yeah. So those are smart decisions. I know their team really well. I know their prospects really well. They don't interfere very much with who's got to play or who doesn't have to play. So the one thing I'd say, and people don't. I've been in that building in Rochester since 1982. It's a long time. Wow. And it's a unique building, and they've done some fine tuning over time. It's still different. It's a different lighting. It's a different lit building than a lot of the other buildings. It's an older building, but it's been modified. And so I understand that they would start Primo there. I understand why they would do that. But now I think they will give Fowler a chance to play game 2. I do. I think they will.
Pierre McGuire, thank you so much. I can't wait to talk to you about the Leafs in a couple of days. I don't want to talk about them just yet.
I'll be ready for you, Tony.
They're still alive. Talk to you soon, Pierre.
You got it. Thank you.
All right, there you have it. Special thanks to Energy Transportation Group, to Playground, to Bittt Tibi, to Fruiterie de Lard, and to Betway. And special thanks to all of you for watching the Sick Podcast. And once again, this podcast earlier today was pre-recorded. And that's why we didn't talk about any of the NHL playoff games. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple if you like the podcast. It's our way of feeling the love for Shane Gaumont and Master Control. We'll be back tomorrow night, same time, same place. The Sick Podcast. I'm Marinaro.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast with Tony Marinaro on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts. The Sick Podcast is brought to you by Energy Transportation Group, driven to be different. LaVida.tb, embrace your true nature. And Playground, your premier gaming destination.